Ellenberg. I'm going to discuss today a little bit about the research I'm going to be doing in Drexel. So I'm looking into UAVs for infrastructure inspection. So the first question you might ask is, why infrastructure? Why is this important? So the estimated worth of our infrastructure in the United States is roughly $20 trillion. That's with a T. So that's pretty important in itself. Not to mention, we rely on this every day. It's something we kind of take for granted, but it needs to be something safe and reliable that we can use every day. So for my research, I'd like to use a UAV for a bridge. Now, bridges are inspected by inspectors who are civil engineers, or they have a lot of experience in this field. And they go out there with simple tools like a crack card, a hammer, other simple tools. They go out, they look at the bridge, they say, okay, these are trouble spots, let's look into this. Is the bridge safe or not? The problem with this is you have a guy trying to see if the bridge is safe while being on the bridge. We would kind of like to make it a little bit safer. So if we could use a UAV to be the preliminary, is it okay to be out there or not? That would be very good. It's also a plus after a natural disaster. You could send, a bridge owner could have a UAV and then say, right after a disaster, send this thing out and be like, okay, it's good, it's not. If it's questionable, you send out a person and say, okay, looks okay. I don't know. There are roughly 600,000 bridges in America, and every bridge that's healthy has to be inspected once every 2 years. So that means bridges that are structurally deficient have to be inspected more often. So you're looking at roughly 800-900 bridges a day that are inspected. It's a lot of work, and if you have to rent equipment, that could be $10,000 a day. If you have a big truck, you got to get the arm underneath, get a person under the bridge to see a certain part of the bridge that's not so good. Well, there's $10,000 shot right there, one day, done. If you have UAV, it costs, I don't know, $150,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that's 15 inspections that you won't really necessarily have to pay for. And the other thing is, UAVs, at the moment, you can use photogrammetry and other measuring techniques using non-contact, and you can get actual measurements off of the bridge. So now you have an inspector who goes with a crack card. He takes a pretty good guess, but you're not necessarily 100% sure. The experience of the inspector also could play a factor in what the bridge is conditioned. And an unexperienced inspector could go to the bridge and say, yeah, it looks fine. And somebody who's experienced may say, well, there's a problem there. It could save lives if you can catch this. So if you have a more uniform way of visiting bridges and inspecting them, that would be much better than what we have now. So, any questions about?
What would you be expect for?
Unmanned aerial vehicle. Sorry, like drones is like the kind of.
So you're basically flying over these bridges and taking the same shot of the bridge, like an aerial photography?
Now there's current research doing that mainly for roadways, for a fixed wing. We would like to use a hovering drone, so it'd be like a multi-rotor or a helicopter. So now we can go along the bridge, get the whole thing, stitch all the images together, identify cracks.
Is it just using optical investigation, or is it using like X-ray?
You could use infrared. That's a very good option too.
Would someone be piloting this so that they could like check out something of interest themselves, or is it just going to go like straight through?
The way the law is probably going to work is you have to be in the line of sight. The pilot has to be, but you could use Google Maps in conjunction with GPS to say fly to this area, and then take a manual override if you see something of interest.
Thank you.